Okay, hi, I'm Vanessa, and I will be answering 4 questions. In the first question, men tend to respond more to jokes involving sexual innuendos than women do. Assume this statement is true for a male buyer you're going to call on next Tuesday. You learn that he loves jokes with a sexual bent. Is there any reason you should avoid using a joke with a sexual theme when calling on him? Yes. Personally, I feel like it's very unprofessional, but in general, it seems very unprofessional, especially if it's a first-time interaction. And even if it's not a first-time interaction, it's such a very crude thing to do that I wouldn't use it. It's very unprofessional looking, and you never know, maybe the guy might like those kinds of jokes, but then he likes to keep his professional and personal things in separate areas. In certain cultures, different cultures like Japan, they do drink and they get to know each other and they joke and do certain stuff, but so I guess it really depends on the situation, but even then it's really a professional matter. In question 2, it's really between the seller, who is named Mallory, the salesperson, and then the buyer. So the buyer asked the seller, is there how can he be sure that he will get his what he ordered on time? And the saleswoman tends to give him very vague answers, so he does not look very happy, and in general does not feel like she answered his questions that made him feel assured. So he has a lot of doubt. So the question is, how can you improve on Mallory's answers to the buyer's concerns? So she could have given him a detailed schedule of the delivery, so he would know when it was when they were going to get the deliveries, and she could have given him like a tracking number to track the order, so he will have control over that track. And if for some reason they can't get it on time, she could have gave him a reassurance that he will get a compensation for his troubles if for some reason he didn't get the delivery on time. So I felt like if she had done that or put it on her conversation with him, she would have made a sale right there. And on question 3, a customer goes into a store and says, how do you intend to solve my problem? And the salesperson told the customer his approach and provided a timeline for what each steps will be completed. When asked for the sale, the customer says, oh, I would just do it myself. Now that she has the process spelled out for her, she felt she no longer needed the salesperson. Was her behavior inappropriate? Why or why not? And whether inappropriate or not, how can a salesperson avoid the situation? So, in general, yeah, the customer was a little bit inappropriate. Like, honestly, if you're going to go to a store, you're not going to the store for just advice. If you wanted that, you could have gone into to an actual place where they actually just give you advice. So it was very inappropriate for the customer, but customers tend to go for the best price and the best situation. So honestly, you can't be surprised that the customer did that. So it's our jobs as salespersons to make sure that they understand that we're needed, that they need us. So I feel like if the salesperson had made given him an answer of how to solve the issue without giving him the whole spill, the salesperson would have gotten a sale that day. Okay, question 4 is, what if you do everything in your power to establish a win-win attitude with the buyer team, but they insist on viewing the negotiation as a series of win-lose maneuvers? Since they won't play by win-win rules, should you? Yes. I think in general, if you play for the win-win, they will start getting a better positive attitude about it. Even if they still feel like it's a win-lose situation, they will have a better atmosphere in general, and they're more likely to do the sale than if you start doing win-lose. And in my opinion, if you tell me I'm going to lose at something, I don't want to buy it. But if you keep giving me win-wins and I feel like there's a catch, the fact that you're still giving me a win-win, I'm more likely to buy than if you were to give me a win-lose. But that's all I have. Thank you for listening.